The person I am today as a 33-year-old mother is not the person I was when I started YouTube so many years ago. But over the last month, I've received a lot of criticism that isn't the type of constructive criticism I've received over the last decade. It is more just hateful and cruel, and the things that are being said about me are absolutely horrendous.
Colleen Ballinger has posted a response to Adam McIntyre. She's also addressed some of the other videos that are being dug up and posted all over Twitter. It seems that since Adam came forward with his allegations against Colleen, people started creating threads on Twitter of all of her problematic behavior. She's made a lot of problematic remarks about fat shaming, and remarks that were racially insensitive. And I'm gonna address them all right now on IO. Welcome back to InformOverload, y'all. On this channel, we do the news, we spill the tea, we tell you about what's trending on the internet so that you have other things to think about other than the pandemic. I'm Charlotte Dobre. Subscribe for a different take on the news and follow us on social media so we can connect outside of YouTube. If you haven't seen our previous videos on this topic, check out the link that is currently flashing on your screen. It will also be showing at the end of the video as well. I'm not gonna spend too much time reviewing, but once again, disclaimer, please do not send hate to the people that we speak about in our videos. And please don't cancel anybody. We're just reporting on the news. Because this is a developing story and new info is coming to light all the time, please try to stay objective. All right, let's get into it because we got a lot to cover today. Colleen has finally responded after more than 2 weeks of speculation. She posted a video on her Colleen Vlogs channel called Addressing Everything. My guess is she saw some of the stuff that everyone's been posting online. Someone started an exposing thread, and I guess she wanted to talk about everything publicly. Guys, let me tell you, there is a lot of problematic stuff in this thread. The problem with being a comedian and also being on YouTube is you're gonna say and do some crazy stuff to get clicks. That's kind of just the way YouTube rewards you. The more outrageous you are, the more people will click on your videos, the more money you make. Colleen has been on the platform for 12 years. She's done a lot of videos over the years. So maybe if you had seen some of these skits that she's done at an improv comedy show, for example, you wouldn't have an issue with it, especially because it's just kind of like in the moment. But I can see how it looks problematic looking back. Not making excuses for Colleen, I'm just trying to stay objective. Colleen begins her response video by talking about a video of her and her sister from 14 years ago, where they did impressions of Latina women with really dark eyebrows. Colleen said in the response video that her video was based on racial stereotypes.
Like, his ex-girlfriend takes them, you know, so yeah, I don't even have to see them.
Yeah, she like always takes care of him, so she like never has to take care of him, and he like doesn't even want to be her dad anymore anyway. So
Colleen apologized in her response video and said, "It's not funny and it is completely hurtful. I'm so ashamed and embarrassed that I ever thought this was okay." The other video that Colleen addressed was a video from 12 years ago, where she talks about sitting next to an overweight woman on a flight.
Plane, and who walks on? An extremely obese Asian woman with facial hair, and she walks on, and I'm like, please don't sit next to me, please don't sit next to me. And I turn around, and there are no open seats on the plane, so of course she comes and sits right next to me and on me, and her like fat rolls are like rolling over onto.
In response to this video, Colleen said, "That is not the woman I am today. I'm such a huge advocate for women. The fact that I talk negatively about someone who is overweight is absolutely disgusting to me." There was definitely a lot more that Colleen talked about in this response video, including an incident where her dog had to be put down because she lashed out at the dog as a child and the dog bit her. But I'm gonna avoid that for the purposes of this video because we haven't really been covering that story. We've been talking about Adam McIntyre. Toward the end of the video, Colleen gets into the stuff about Adam. She addresses the underwear thing, arguing that she needed to give context to why she gave a 13-year-old underwear in the first place. Basically, there was this live stream where she decided to give Adam the underwear, and it was a live stream where she was giving a lot of people clothes. She had bought a bunch of stuff from Forever 21 that she didn't want and she hadn't worn, so she just did a live stream and then she just gave a bunch of the stuff to her fans. Adam had asked for the panties and then she forgot to send them to him after the live stream, and he reached out to her on Twitter, so he was persistent about getting them. At that point is when she sent the underwear to him. But again, he was a kid and she was an adult, and there should have been like a no kind of thing going on. You don't have to give kids everything they ask you for, regardless of whether or not they're a big fan of you or not and you feel bad for them, whatever. You have to learn how to say no, especially with something like giving underwear to an underage boy who's a fan. As for the rest of the relationship with Adam, the underage superfan who she had a close relationship with, who would give her ideas for the Miranda Sings character and for the Miranda Sings Twitter account. Essentially, Colleen's argument is she talks to her fans like they're her friends. And she's also hired fans before. She's been on YouTube for 12 years, and I guess this is just how she does it. The thing with living your life in the public eye is you can either choose to keep your private life private, or you don't. It's mostly just a personal preference, I guess. Colleen chooses to have personal relationships with her fans. I still find it really surprising that out of the 12 years that she's been on YouTube, she's never experienced an incident that maybe had her rethink the boundary thing. But anyways, it's her choice to interact with her fans the way that she wants to do it. What she didn't do in her response video is apologize to Adam. Maybe she felt like she didn't have to. And she also didn't really talk about how she confided in Adam about her divorce. Again, Adam was a teenager at the time. And she took responsibility for being an oversharer, but I mean, I'm an oversharer and I wouldn't even overshare about that to a 14-year-old fan or 13-year-old fan or 50. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. She also asked him to go dig up dirt on her ex-husband, allegedly, which is weird. So the responses to Colleen on social media have been somewhat mixed. Her video was well received on YouTube, but Twitter is kind of where the drama is. I'll share some responses from both sides of the argument with you now. The amount of light you put out in the world is so evident, and this really shows your growth as a human. Thank you for being one of the most inspiring creators on the platform and for taking responsibility in such a genuine and heartfelt way. We heart you. I know that your PR team worked really hard on writing this apology and you worked hard on memorizing it, but for the peace of mind for the parents out there, you need to keep boundaries with your fans. No more best friends and no more oversharing. Saying it was a long time ago isn't an excuse. That implies that everybody was racist or made racist jokes 14 years ago, and that's not true. It wasn't okay then either. It is absolutely disgusting how vile people were posting these old clips of you and using anything they could to find to cancel you. But I'm so happy you made this video to set the record straight and apologize for anyone who might have been insulted. Anyways, guys, that is all I have for you on this for now. There were a lot of concerning things posted in that thread that Colleen chose not to talk about in her response video. Either she didn't want to draw attention to it, or maybe she just didn't have time. It's kind of hard to cover absolutely everything with a thread that long. Maybe she just left it out for whatever reason, or maybe she left it out on purpose. There's no way to know. I will leave a link to the response video down below in the description, and I'll also leave a link to the thread so you can make a decision for yourselves. As for Colleen's response video, I do feel like it was well done. She definitely had a PR team working with her, and I do feel like it was sincere. Not everyone is going to be completely fine with every response video that you make, but I do appreciate that Colleen took the time to address these things. For now, I'm gonna wrap up this video with some comment features from my last video about Colleen. Amanda said, "I'm done blindly believing in stories like these. Not saying he's lying, just that I'm not going to be complicit in ruining an innocent person's life in case he is. After Amber Heard, I just don't trust anyone anymore unless I personally know them or have basically all the information about the situation. I just hope whoever is the victim can overcome this, and I hope karma deals with whoever is in the wrong." Dude, you're such a gem. This is exactly how you should approach every single story, every single piece of rumor or gossip that you hear. It's a really great way of putting it. You shouldn't get emotionally invested in these things. There's always three sides to the story. The one person's side, the other person's side, and then the truth. As someone who sees a lot of these kinds of headlines and stories, it's best not to get riled up about things, and it's also best not to go and harass somebody because you don't know the full story. You legitimately don't know them at all. So, I mean, it really upsets me that Colleen has been getting a heck of a lot of hate for this, and also Adam has as well, and nobody really knows what's going on. Be Awesome said, "Who the fuck is Amanda?" I meant to say Colleen or Amanda or Miranda. Platypus said, "Just remember that these YouTube personalities are at the end of the day just people flawed like everyone else." Yeah, I mean, he who hasn't sinned cast the first stone, right? We've all made mistakes, some of us worse than others. So, I mean, the only difference is not millions of people are watching you make mistakes and judging you for it. So anyways, that's probably the end of that story for now. I'm putting it to rest unless anything else imperative comes to light that I need to tell you about. As always, if you enjoyed this video, you found it informative, or you want to hang out, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you guys next time.